Okay, so I know it's been a while, but I'm here to snatch your edges or just talk about your scalp. That is all. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Girl, where have I been? I've been pregnant. I'm still pregnant. I've been fighting for my life. Do you want to see the belly? I'll show you. What? Okay, let's get serious. Today, I kind of want to react to an email I received from one of you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find the comment, but we started this conversation in the comment section because y'all know I've been talking about this no oil and butter thing for a while. And I said I was going to stop talking about it, which I did for a bit. But then she left this comment that drew me back in. So I responded to it. And then she was like, you know what? I'll send you more information. So basically, she is definitely pro no oil and butters, that they don't belong in your hair. And she goes as far as saying that we need to be washing our hair a whole lot more, despite everything that's going on now. Because I mean, y'all know how messy this no oil and butter situation is. I'm gonna make a whole video on the whole thing when I have time, or perhaps when I deliver this baby. But for now, I really wanna go through this document that she sent me and kind of talk about our scalp, which I have to say, I really kind of feel, depending on how we go about taking care of our hair, because the way that you take care of your hair at the end of the day is a personal choice. But I really feel like a lot of us have a lot of scalp issues that comes from just not washing our hair properly, or not washing our hair as frequently as we should be doing. I'm pretty sure you guys heard of the Maya organic situation, which I also want to make a video on. That's a whole other situation. But I kind of think of this situation sometimes like, is it the product or is it just improper use of the product? In any case, she sent me a whole document that we need to dive right in. Before we get into it though, because you're probably like, who the hell is this person and why are you reading this? She gave me a little bit of her background. Her name is Rachel. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in chemistry from Western Illinois University and Master of Science in Biotechnology from Johns Hopkins University. She has 18 years of experience working in quality control and research and development for the pharmaceutical industry. In the past, she taught introductory chemistry and microbiology courses at local colleges. Currently, she works as a research associate for a pharmaceutical company developing anti-infective drug products for critical care patients within the US and global market. So, you know, apparently she's somebody and she knows something about what she's talking about. All right. So she said we share the same hair type. Approximately 4 years ago, she was tempted to shave her hair off out of frustration because she was just tired of dealing with her scalp and dry, brittle hair. No hair routine designed for natural hair seems to work. She followed just about every recommendation, such as co-washing, protective style, butters, oil, etc., to improve the state of her dry and fragile hair. One day, she decided to put her education to use and understand the properties of her hair and skin. And she can tell you most of the problems associated with scalp conditions and hair morphology are due to cultural practices and oxidative stress caused by fungal infections. All right, so let's dive right in. You know, we got a lot to talk about. The health condition of the scalp determines the structure for hair. Unfortunately, many Black hair practices, such as protective styling and frequent washing, oils and butters, every time they say that, you know, my heart sinks a little bit, contributes to poor scalp health. These practices are common throughout the African diaspora and can range from treating the hair with herbs, fruits, oils, to using engine oil and kerosene to treat scalp disorders. Now, I am going to say she did link a few scientific studies at the end of this, and I haven't read them yet, but I actually feel like I will. So once I go through these articles and I read them and I find something that is juicy, I will probably kind of stop the video and like include some of the findings from the articles. I haven't read them yet, and y'all know me, I like to poke around and see what we're really talking about, really understand the full scope of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Because last time I blindly trusted some people, aka the stylist, I might as well say it, oils and water do not mix. I found myself in a whole lot of trouble. Study shows when the hair is not frequently washed, buildup from excessive sources, example, environmental pollutants, products, and microbes, cause oxidative damage on your scalp and determines the structure of hair. Now, I don't know if I've heard that before. I feel like we're all pretty familiar with the fact that we as a community don't really like to wash our hair. I think a lot of us have released ourselves from the shackle of not washing our hair at all or co-washing, but there's a lot of people that still don't wash their hair. I'm talking about month plus 2 months. I made a video not too long ago and the woman was talking about she didn't wash her hair for 7 months. 7 months. Can you imagine the state of her scalp? And you know, when we talk about frequent washes, I feel like we're not even talking about once a week. We're talking about a little bit more than that. And a lot of us feel like the more we wash our hair, the drier it becomes. But hearing that not washing our scalp can actually determine the structure of our hair, that's interesting to me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I really do like how she laid out this document for me. It makes it easy to read and easy on the eyes. So thank you, girl, for doing this. What is pre-emergent hair? Hair is constantly growing and can be separated into 2 categories: pre-emergent hair and post-emergent hair. Pre-emergent hair is scalp hair that originates approximately 4 millimeters deep in the skin with newly formed fibers. It's the hair that we cannot see and resides for almost 2 weeks within the skin before reaching the scalp surface. And she does have a reference for that too. The properties for pre-emergent hair, examples, smoothness, shine, strength, diameter, are determined by the condition of the scalp and cannot be fundamentally repaired if damaged. And I like how she bolded it. Post-emergent hair is hair that appears above the scalp and can be seen with the visual eye. It is simply pre-emergent hair that has grown long enough to pierce through the scalp. If pre-emergent hair is poorly formed, caused by an unhealthy scalp, cosmetics can only minimize the impact of the unhealthy post-emergent hair, but cannot change its structure. I hope you're following, girl. I hope you're with me. Basically, what she's saying is your hair is formed within your scalp, but the condition of your scalp is what's going to determine the way that your hair is going to form. And once it's formed, there's nothing you can do about it. So all the products and things that we use on the surface can only help so much, but if your hair grows out damaged, it is damaged. Okay, you're with me, right? We understand this. All right, how does sebum oil and butter affect pre-emergent hair? Remember, that is the hair that is on your scalp, in your scalp, I should say, you know, deep within, 4 millimeters down within, if you want to be specific. The main culprit for most scalp condition is due to microbes. Our hair provides a perfect environment for microbial growth due to its darkness, moisture, and nutrients. Our scalp microbiome consists primarily of, we're gonna get some big words in now. I hope that's how you say it. Propionic bacteria, Staphylococcus bacteria, and
Malassezia.
And Malassezia yeast, with Malassezia being the most influential microbe on our scalp. Malassezia fungi is the root cause for the following scalp diseases: dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, atopic dermatitis. What is Malassezia? Malassezia is a lipophilic fungus, which is basically oil-loving, and it's part of our normal microbiota. This oil-loving fungus uses sebum, oil, and butters as food to grow on our scalp. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of geek out on things like this, like really get down to the science. I guess that's why I went to school for it, but get down to the nitty-gritty, the scientific reason for things. I kind of enjoy reading these type of papers because I find that everybody has an opinion on things nowadays, especially nowadays. Everybody has a platform, everybody's an expert, everybody has an opinion, but it's really kind of like good to get to the root cause of a lot of things, and also like really talking about things from a scientific point of view. Now, it doesn't always mean that it's perfect, and I do feel like when it comes to black hair, the science is still lagging. The science is still pretty much behind. I don't know if there's like current research being done on black hair, but I've already learned a thing or two. So if you're enjoying this video, give your girl a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. I feel like we can really have a healthy conversation when it comes to this. And no, we're not trying to be messy when it comes to BGC or whatever. That's for the next video. Anyways, where was I?
Malassezia.
This oil-loving fungus uses sebum, oil, and butters as food to grow on our scalp. As sebum travels to the scalp surface, Malassezia immediately consumes, Malassezia immediately consumes it and continues to grow until the scalp and hair is washed. Sebum is not the only oil Malassezia loves to eat. Butters, for example, shea butter, cocoa, ghee, etc., and oils such as olive oil, castor, peanuts, soybean, almond, etc., are consumed by the fungus. Soybean oil, wait a minute now, because last I remember, the Miel Organics oil is a soybean based oil. Yes, girl, you thought it was rosemary as the first ingredient? It's soybean. And to think that there is a yeast that is feeding on that oil on your scalp. You know what? This whole Miel Organics thing, I really want to make a video on it too. It's perplexing to me because the way they're going about it, saying that it's the people's fault. Meanwhile, I kind of feel like it's a little bit deeper than that. It's the fact that we just like to pile things on our scalp that may eventually get us in trouble. You didn't hear that from me though. Let's continue. Oils and butters may appear to help with the mechanical properties of the hair, for example, dryness. However, there's little to no health benefits to the scalp other than being a food source for the Malassezia fungus. I didn't say it, girl. I'm just reading it, okay? When Malassezia consumes sebum, oils, and butters, the fungus deposit oxidized free fatty acid onto the scalp. The oxidized free fatty acids initiate itch as the fungus continue to grow. Some may mistake this itch for scalp dryness when it's really caused by the fungal growth. Other scalp symptoms associated with Malassezia include the following symptoms: flaking, skin cells rapidly grow and die within a short time frame, redness of the skin, inflammation caused by the body's immune response to the fungal infection on the scalp, scalp sensitivity, aka tender head, breakdown of the skin barrier caused by rapid cellular death. Woo, girl. Malassezia will continue to live on our scalps. However, it is our job to maintain low fungal growth to encourage a healthy scalp and hair. Research studies shows clean hair without added oils or butters experience increased itching within 72 hours after washing. This is referenced, by the way, so I'm interested to dive into the article. But I wonder why, because if we're trying to maintain a low fungal growth, but yet it looks like clean hair without oils and butters experience the itchy scalp within 72 hours. That's like 3 days, isn't it? Does that mean we need to be washing our hair every 3 days? Or what does that mean? I feel like I need more information there. I can only assume adding oils and butters immediately after washing would significantly increase itching, redness, flaking, and scalp sensitivity between washing. Interesting, because I feel like a lot of people will say that they experience the opposite. No? Listen, I know a lot of you guys use oils. I haven't been using oils on my scalp anymore because I feel like it's not actually needed. That's one good thing that came out of this whole no oil and butter thing for me. I don't oil my scalp anymore and my scalp seems to be doing well. When it comes to itching, I would say my scalp will start itching if I go a week without washing it. However, people that still use oils on their scalp, I need you to chime in down below. Do you agree with this statement? Do you agree that if you don't use oils on your scalp, it will start itching within 72 hours? Or do you agree with adding oils and butters immediately after washing your hair will significantly increase the itching? Because I would imagine we use the oils to relieve the itching, right? When our scalp start itching, what do? We put a little oil on it. It looks better. The flaking goes away. At least it's masked so we don't see it. And that's why we keep using the oils, right? It's like feeding the problem and trying to correct the problem with the very substance that's causing the problem. It's very backwards when it comes to oiling our scalp. I have realized that, at least for me. You know, I don't want to get into people's regimen, but I need y'all to confirm down below. The itching, redness, flaking, and scalp sensitivity one experiences are symptoms of oxidative stress on the scalp. The oxidative stress causes cells responsible for building pre-emergent hair to lose their normal function and no longer defend itself from Malassezia. Therefore, it is important to wash the scalp and hair within 72 hours after cleaning. I'm sorry, I need to count the days. 1, 2, 3, See, this is the part that don't sit right with me. When cells can no longer protect themselves from Malassezia, these cells will do 2 things. Stop building hair, aka hair loss. Miel Organics, where you at? 2, build poorly formed hair with thick cuticles and surface pitting that has rough, fragile, and brittle texture lacking shine. These features are associated with type 4 hair. Wait a minute, I need to digest this. I need to let this sit for a second with my brain. Rough, fragile, and brittle texture lacking shine. I need some water. All right, so we're almost done with this article. I hope you're still here. I hope, you didn't click off this video the second you said 72 hours because, me, I was ready to stop reading too. Malassezia, oxidative stress, and its effect on black hair. Historically, black hair care has strongly supported low wash routines and oiling of the scalp and hair strands. A low hair wash routine is hair that is cleansed once per week or less. This means washing the hair once per week, bi-weekly, once per month, every 2 months, etc. I mean, she's making it clear. Studies evaluating African American hair and the associated low wash habits observe detrimental effects on the hair and immune system. The buildup of dirt, sebum, and oil or butters on the hair is responsible for fungal growth and contributes to the prevalence of dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, psoriasis, hair fragility, decreased growth rate, and inflammatory cytokines found in African Americans and Nigerian women and girls. Why they had to single out Nigerians? She also referenced that line. In summary, studies show the following. Malassezia is the root cause of scalp disorders, hair textures, and some immune disorders associated with Africans throughout the diaspora. What does that mean? Malassezia is the root of hair texture. You mean our hair texture would be different if we washed it every 3 days consistently? Frequent washing of hair, 5 to 6 times per week. Wow, that's enough. That's enough. Oh, I'm too pregnant for this. That's crazy. Frequent washing hair, 5 to 6 times per week for all textures related to Africans, Caucasians, and Asians to be beneficial to the scalp and less hair complaints. And she actually put a disclaimer because I mean, even she felt like that was a crazy sentence to write. She said, FYI, I know some may think this is extreme. However, the dry and brittle hair you may feel after washing is year of poorly formed hair caused by oxidative stress. There are ways to minimize hair breakage with frequent shampoo, which I'll discuss later. The third point, the third summary is that washing the scalp with shampoo formulated with zinc pyrithione will reduce oxidative stress on the scalp. Other antifungal shampoos formulated with selenium sulfide and ketoconazole may contribute to a healthy scalp. You know what? I can't imagine using those antifungal shampoos. Oh, they're so drying. They're terrible. Especially zinc. Oh my God. I remember when I was younger, maybe like 15 years ago when I first started my YouTube journey, I had terrible dandruff. Well, at least what I thought was dandruff. And it really was a result of me not washing my hair properly. It was just a buildup of things. But at the time I didn't know. So I was using these anti-dandruff shampoos and they are the worst. They're so drying. I just feel like there's more to this story as I read this. And maybe that's me trying to make excuses for not having to wash my hair more than once a week. Because I feel like once a week is a very healthy area to be in. 5 to 6 times per week, that's crazy talk. But after you wash the hair and it starts to dry, what do you do? Maybe you shouldn't use an oil. Maybe you shouldn't use the butter. Maybe you shouldn't oil your scalp. I actually agree with all of that. Like, it's fine. We can find a really good healthy regimen that doesn't include raw oil and this constant oiling of our scalp, because at the end of the day, I think we do a lot of damage to our scalp by putting a ton of products on it and piling all these oils. I do agree with that. But what about the hair? What about the strands? What do we do with it? What happens when you just keep washing every single day? This is the questions that I have in my mind. Anyway, she said she puts all the references below to support any statement in this document. She also planned on sharing more information on her YouTube channel, which I'll put on the screen. Kinky Hair Chemistry, $15.99. She also realizes that some discoveries may shock the natural hair community and significantly change the way we care for our hair. She understands that research for African hair and skin is new to the scientific world and there's a lot of information yet to be discovered. Our journey is a process and all of us will need to be patient while learning how to care for our hair. Listen, Rachel, thank you so much for reaching out with this detailed document. I really enjoyed reading it. I can't wait to dive into some of the references, the scientific papers that you sent as well. I do have some questions, so I will email you. But let me know what you think down below. I think 5 to 6 times a week is a little excessive. Like I said, I do wonder how we would care for, what would a regimen look like if that was our routine? If you washing 5 to 6 times a week with a shampoo, and I hate to even say it, but antifungal shampoo, which are known to be pretty rough on the scalp, pretty drying on the skin, pretty drying for our hair. How would we combat that when it comes to taking care of our hair? And perhaps, I guess the argument will be that our pre or post-emergent hair will be in better condition and maybe we'll be able to withstand such a regimen. But what if you're not there yet? And I want to say, coming out of the no oil and butter era, after drinking that Kool-Aid for 3 years, I've realized, you know, there's a few changes in my hair, and not in a good way, I would say. For example, my ends. That's what I've been noticing lately. My ends have this different texture to them where I would argue it is rougher. The cuticles feels different. And then the rest of my hair, so my ends are a little rough, and then going up to the roots and the scalp, it feels smoother. It feels better, in my opinion. And it's not even like I have split ends. Like the last, I want to say maybe 1.5 inches of my hair, it's not split, it's just rougher. So how do I explain something like that? Because when I was doing the no oil and butter, I would argue I was washing my hair every like 6 days, 6 to 7 days still, but I wasn't using any raw oils. I wasn't using any butters, nothing really oily, which I'm not really running back to raw oils right now. The other day I did my hair and one side of my hair actually used a leave-in conditioner with, it's like a silicone based oil. And I say oil because it doesn't really feel like an oil. It's not really oily. And then the other side of my hair actually used a leave-in conditioner and a butter. And I mean, like, you know, the typical do-it-yourself formulated leave-in and like a butter that you would make from YouTube University, something that I could whip up myself. It's a shea butter based butter. And I did notice the side that had the shea butter ended up drying out faster. Like I didn't really enjoy the feeling of it. I preferred the one with the silicones actually. So I think there's, you know, something there too when it comes to just taking care of our hair with silicones. And maybe the issue is the washing issue, but how would a regimen like that look like? What would that look like? Anyways, those are some of the questions that I have in my mind. I do agree that we do need to have a little bit more scientific experiments when it comes to not African American hair. I think we are very much lacking there. Let me know what you thought of this article. I guess not an article, but what she wrote. I will dive into some of those papers. If you're interested to see that, let me know down below as well. And yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I haven't posted in a while, but I've just been pregnant, okay? That's my excuse for everything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.